What's on, ladies and gentlemen? My name's Ross, I like games, and today we've got the full card list for Starter Deck 12. I told you that the minute we knew the full card list for Starter Deck 12, I would bring it to you. We have the full card list. I am bringing it to you. Also, as a side note, before we get going properly, So-So has been doing more and more cards for the One Piece TCG lately. There are 2 So-So cards in this set, which I think is awesome. Of course, So-So's been doing great work for the Pokemon TCG for a while. But yeah, getting 2 of them in this set, lovely, ladies and gentlemen, lovely. So there are a bunch of new cards here. Some we've looked at, some we haven't. Let's get rolling with the leader card, Roanoa, Zoro, and Sanji. And this is a one whereby Don X1, when attacking once per turn, you may return a 2-cost or higher character to its owner's hands, and then set up to one of your characters with 7,000 power or less active. Clearly, that's very, 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 very good. So yeah, we like this one. Dual color, blue and green, obviously. And then as we run through, some of these we've seen, some we haven't. Let's go through in order, starting off with Kina, who was the childhood rival of Zoro, which is extremely cool. And I don't think we've had a card of her yet. Correct me in the comment section if I'm wrong about that. Free cost, 2,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and then activate main, rest this character, and then up to one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less, rest them as well. Nice. Oh, and it's also got a trigger, just play this card. No mucking about, no ifs, buts, or maybes, you just play the card, and activate main. And it is an activate main. It is not a play. It is activate main. Rest this character to rest one of your opponent's characters with a cost of 4 or less. That's awesome. Now, Dracul Mihawk is one of the super rares in the set. This is one of the ones people are going to be most excited about. And what we got from Dracul Mihawk here is free cost, 4,000 power, counter plus 2,000, always a very good thing. And on play, if you have 2 or fewer characters, you may play up to 1 cost 4 or lower Shigaraki Kingdom or slash character other than Dracul Mihawk from your hand rested. Of course, slash is that symbol in the top right hand corner. It doesn't see that much use in the game. This is maybe the best use of it we've seen so far. You get to play a character for free. This is a very good card. Counter plus 2,000. And you get to play a character for free? Yeah. This strikes me as one that is going to see a lot of play and a lot of love. We've got Human Drill here. It's a vanilla character. Free cost, 5,000 power. Counter plus 1,000. These cards are not always terribly interesting. It's an animal, and it is a Shigaraki Kingdom, which of course could be very relevant for Dracul Mihawk, but other than that, it's just a vanilla card. We've also got ourselves a new Perona, which I got very excited about until I realized it was another vanilla card. Although the artwork on this is absolutely top tier stunning. One of my favorite One Piece cards we've seen so far. This one is amazing, but it is still just a vanilla character. 4 cost, 6,000 power, counter plus 1,000. It's also Shigaraki Kingdom and Thriller Pirates. So again, it's not terrible if that's what you're looking for. Now, we do have ourselves a new Yasaku and Johnny. And this one's actually got a skill. Yay! 2 cost, 3,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and when attacking, you choose one of the following effects. Either rest one of your opponent's cost 2 or lower characters, or KO one of your opponent's rested cost 2 or lower characters. So it's going after 2 cost characters. They aren't that strong at the end of the day. They're from very early on in the manga. And either you rest them, or if they're already rested, you KO them. Not bad, ladies and gentlemen. Not bad. They're East Blue, if you're wondering. That's the only trait they've got. Now, we do have Rika coming in here, and look, I'm sorry, if you don't need me to tell you who this is. If you've watched the anime or read the manga, you know exactly who this is. This artwork captures it perfectly. It's the other So-So, 2 cost, 0 power. Again, look at which character we're going here. 0 power makes sense. Counter plus 2,000. And then we've got on play, pay 2. If your opponent has 3 or more life, set one of your slash attribute characters with a cost of 4 or less to active. Cool. That's actually pretty good, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty good. Of course, she's, bringing the food to Nooro. The fact that she's boosting slash characters is absolutely appropriate here. And yeah, you're activating one of your characters. Now, I get it, because you've got to pay to play the card, and then you've got to pay to actually activate Nooro or whichever other slash character you're going for. But with a high cost slash character, this could be very, very good. And you got counter plus 2,000. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I like this a lot. Now, the Nooro we had seen previously. 4 cost, 6,000 power, and then we've got Don X1. When attacking, rest one of your opponent's 6 cost or lower characters. And to be fair, resting a 6 cost or lower character is pretty good. That is a large chunk of what your opponent is going to have in their deck. It's only Don X1, but that'll put you up to 7,000 power anyway, which is not terrible. And yeah, for a 4 cost, I like this, ladies and gentlemen. And it's when attacking, so you get to do it every single turn. Now, we've got ourselves a character I was not expecting, frankly. I'll be honest with you. Blue-finned Elephant Tuna. It's a vanilla character. 1 cost, 3,000 power. Counter plus 1,000. Yeah, it's an animal. So if you need a nice, cheap, blue, vanilla animal character, yes. Outside of that, no. I will say, artwork on this, top tier. It doesn't beat Perona out, but the artwork in this particular deck is making me extremely happy. Now, we do have the Emporio Ivankov that I showed you just the other day. 3 cost, 4,000 power, counter plus 1,000. And on play, look at the top card of your deck, or reveal the top card of your deck. And then you can play a 2-cost character if there is one. Otherwise, place the rest of the cards on the top or bottom of your deck, so you can play a character for free. And then when attacking, once per turn, if you have 6 or fewer cards in hand, draw a card. You really need to play this with something that can stack or reveal the top card of your deck, so you actually know whether you're going to get a character, a 2-cost you can play for free or not. But even if not, it's still quite good for the whole draw a card when you attack. That's not bad. Now we got a Sanji that we had seen before here. We got 2 costs, 3,000 power, and Don X1 when attacking. If you've got 5 or fewer cards in hand, you gain 2,000 power until the end of your opponent's next turn. So you've got the extra power on your opponent's next turn. So that essentially turns you into a 2-cost, 6,000 power character if you can attach a Don. Or if you really want to be pedantic, a 3-cost, 6,000 power character. Not bad, ladies and gentlemen. Not bad at all. Now, Charlotte Puddin comes in here, and this is one we've seen before. 2 cost, 2,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and activate main, return this character to its owner's hand. This is a very good card, because the counter plus 2,000 is great, and there are a bunch of things you can do here, but you can even just have a character down so you got something to attack with, whatever, but then bump it back whenever you want for the counter plus 2,000. You can lower your hand size so that a skill like Sanji's works, and then bump this back whenever you want to. This is very, very good. Bumping it back and then having a counter plus 2,000 in hand is awesome. Now, Zeph makes only his second appearance in the One Piece TCG, but to be fair, it's a Zoro and Sanji deck. You had to have Zeph here, right? You had to. Also, as a side note, if you're familiar with the manga/anime, this entire deck, you're going to be like, oh yeah. I know I've pointed a couple out, I'm not pointing them all out. All of these characters you're going to look at and go, I see why this character is in the deck, and I love that. If you're not a fan of the anime and manga, I know some people just play the game, that was me initially, then you're going to see a bunch of characters. But if you are an anime/manga fan, this is going to be awesome, because all of these characters make perfect sense, and I love that. So what we got from Zeph here is 5 cost, 5,000 power, counter plus 1,000, and we got a skill here, or indeed a pair of skills here. On play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck and put them back on the top or bottom of your deck in any order you like. Very good. I just mentioned wanting to stack your deck. This will help you do so. But also, when attacking, reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a 2-cost character, you can play it for free. And then put the rest on the top or bottom of your deck as you like. Well, it's kind of like Emporio Ivankov then, except you can sack the deck when you play, and then you've got to wait a turn, admittedly. But then, if you know that the third card revealed is going to be when Zeph attacks, make sure the third card is a 2-cost character, and you'll notice there are a bunch of 2-cost characters in this deck. And then, oh look, that works nicely. Speaking of 2-cost characters, we've got Duval, 2 cost 1000 power, counter plus 1000. We've got Blocker, and on play, look at the top 3 cards of your deck, and put them at the top or bottom of your deck in any order you like. Oh, look at that. It's another rearranging your deck. Works quite perfectly, ladies and gentlemen, doesn't it now? Yes, it does. Nice. Speaking of 2-cost characters as well, we've also got ourselves Patty and Carne. Vanilla character, 2 cost 4000 power, counter plus 1000. The fact that it is a 2 cost will help with a bunch of cards we've already seen in this deck. We then got ourselves a couple of rather lovely event cards. These were previously revealed, but we might as well remind ourselves very quickly. We've got ourselves Lion Song, a green 2-cost card. When you play, you rest up to one of your opponent's leaders or their cost 4 or lower characters. And you do the same thing as a trigger. Not too bad. And then you've got Barrage Shot, which is a 1-cost blue card. And as a counter, give up to one of your leader or characters 2000 power for this battle. And then reveal the top card of your deck and play a 2-cost character if there is one on the top card of your deck. But again, we've seen this as the 3rd card in this deck that can play 2-cost characters if they're the top card of your deck. We've also got some ways to rearrange the top cards of your deck. I really, really like this deck. There are some very, very good cards. Think things like Dracul Mihawk and Emporio Ivankov. But then we've also got some phenomenal artwork like Perona and Bluefish Tuna and the So-So cards and the Mihawk, to be fair. This is a very strong deck that I like very much indeed. I think this might be my favourite starter deck, although remember starter deck 10 was pretty nuts. So there we go. That's what you need to know. And now it's over to you guys. Tell me which of these cards you like. Tell me if you like the deck as a whole. Tell me anything you want to tell me in the comment section. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at the Wasi. That's where we talk One Piece and a bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all kinds of fun things. But by far the most important thing as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.